Have you ever wondered what happens when a celebrity's on-screen charisma spills over into their off-screen behavior, leaving everyone around them scrambling to understand the chaos? In today's deep dive, we unravel the perplexing tapestry of moments that have not only startled insiders, but also set the internet ablaze with debate. No one expected the calm facade to shatter into a series of unpredictable, often controversial events that challenge the norms of celebrity conduct. It all began on a seemingly ordinary day on set when a private meeting in a trailer turned into an unanticipated flashpoint. Amid the routine of shooting a critical scene, Blake Lively orchestrated a gathering with top executives right after an unusual makeup routine, a moment that left everyone reeling. As she underwent a cosmetic touch-up involving the removal of makeup from her collarbone during a vulnerable moment, an unexpected request from a producer set the stage for what would soon spiral out of control. The tension was palpable as executives exchanged uneasy glances, and what should have been a routine production meeting morphed into a controversial encounter that hinted at deeper, more personal conflicts. This incident, marked by an awkward request and a swiftly rejected invitation to postpone the meeting, was the spark that lit the fuse for further revelations. And just when it seemed like the day might settle back into normalcy, the ripples of that event began to swell, hinting that there was far more beneath the surface. Shortly after that unsettling encounter, a new controversy emerged, one that touched on issues of race and historical sensitivity. During another high-tension moment on set, a seemingly benign action turned into an explosive confrontation. In a split second, a mere glance escalated into an argument that resonated with the painful echoes of a troubled past. Blake's reaction to an inadvertent eye contact with a well-known producer was not just a fleeting misinterpretation. It evolved into a contentious exchange that critics quickly labeled as racially charged. The producer, caught off guard by her fierce retort, apologized almost immediately, yet the damage was done. Social media exploded with debates over whether such a response was an overreaction or a misguided echo of historical grievances, a moment that many felt was disproportionate to the gesture itself. The incident compelled viewers to confront the delicate balance between personal boundaries and the weight of cultural history, leaving a lingering question. When does personal perception cross into a realm of insensitivity that resonates with centuries of pain? The drama didn't end on set. As Blake embarked on a promotional tour reminiscent of her Gossip Girl days, her unfiltered tongue continued to stir controversy. During one press tour, remarks emerged that defied expectations and sparked a firestorm among both fans and co-stars. In one particularly contentious moment, she made a series of biting, off-color comments about former colleagues, remarks that many perceived as not only unprofessional, but also tinged with personal prejudice. These statements, delivered with the casual arrogance of someone who believed they were untouchable, quickly spread like wildfire. Colleagues who once shared the screen with her were suddenly thrust into an uncomfortable spotlight, with accusations that her words were not mere jokes, but deliberate jabs aimed at undermining their credibility. The language, laced with a sharp wit, yet marred by a lack of tact, left many questioning whether her intent was to shock for ratings or to genuinely vent a deep-seated disdain. As the tour continued, each new revelation added another layer of complexity to her already fraught public image, proving that sometimes the biggest scandals occur off-camera. Then came the era of digital disclosures, text messages that read more like passages from an epic fantasy novel than real-life conversations. In a series of exchanges that surfaced unexpectedly, Blake compared her personal and professional conflicts to legendary battles complete with dragons and metaphoric warriors. One particular set of texts drew immediate attention. She likened her inner circle to mythical creatures, suggesting that her so-called dragons were poised to defend her honor against any betrayal. The audacity of equating personal disputes with epic tales of power and valor was both bewildering and fascinating. For some, these messages were a refreshing glimpse into the inner workings of a celebrity's psyche, a reminder that behind the glamorous veneer lies a person driven by passions and insecurities just like anyone else. For others, however, the fantastical comparisons felt like a desperate attempt to reframe real-life issues in the language of escapism, a move that blurred the line between reality and hyperbolic fiction. As these texts made their way into public view, they ignited a fierce debate about the appropriateness of mixing personal drama with pop culture allegory, leaving fans to wonder if Blake's reality was slowly being rewritten into something out of a storybook. Not long after the digital revelations, the pressure mounted from a different direction, legal battles that brought to light a series of on-set misconduct allegations. Reports began circulating about a pattern of behavior that many insiders described as unprofessional and at times downright reckless. Allegations emerged involving inappropriate advances and questionable decisions that put not only the production at risk, but also the well-being of those involved. One particularly contentious episode involved a makeup artist who claimed that his interactions with Blake crossed the boundaries of professional decorum. According to accounts from those present, what should have been a routine scene quickly turned into a scenario fraught with tension, where a simple comment about personal appearance spiraled into an atmosphere of discomfort and apprehension. As whispers turned into formal complaints, the situation escalated into a legal quagmire that threatened to tarnish the reputations of everyone involved. Amid a flurry of lawsuits and counterclaims, the production environment transformed into a battleground where personal grievances and professional responsibilities collided. The legal tensions not only underscored the gravity of the situation, but also highlighted the stark contrast between the polished image projected on screen and the chaotic reality behind the scenes. Perhaps the most disconcerting revelations came when the controversies began intersecting with moments of vulnerability. In a move that many perceived as both calculated and cruel, Blake was accused of exploiting a particularly sensitive time, a period marked by natural disasters and personal crises. As families in a wildfire evacuation zone struggled to secure their safety and manage the chaos, legal documents were reportedly served in a manner that many deemed callous and opportunistic. Critics argued that the timing of these actions was not coincidental. Instead, they painted a picture of a celebrity more concerned with preserving her reputation than with the well-being of those caught in dire circumstances. The backlash was swift and severe. Fans and industry insiders alike decried the decision as a stark reminder of how far a person in the spotlight could stray from empathy and responsibility. Public forums and social media platforms buzzed with outrage, with heated debates about whether such behavior should be condoned or condemned. The incident, layered with both legal and ethical implications, further deepened the divide between those who viewed her actions as a misguided attempt to control her narrative and those who saw them as an outright abuse of power during a moment of communal vulnerability. As we step back and survey the mosaic of controversies that have punctuated Blake Lively's off-screen narrative, one thing remains indisputable. The line between personal eccentricity and unbridled misconduct is razor-thin. Each episode, from the tense on-set meetings and racially charged confrontations to the surreal digital exchanges and legally fraught incidents, adds to a portrait of a celebrity whose public and private lives seem locked in an endless struggle for dominance. While some applaud her for daring to be unfiltered, others are left questioning whether this defiance comes at too high a price, both for her and those who orbit her tumultuous world. In a landscape where every misstep is magnified, the debate rages on. Is this a case of a misunderstood maverick pushing the boundaries of creative expression, or a cautionary tale of unchecked power and responsibility? The answer, much like the controversies themselves, remains as elusive as it is explosive.